What's up, everybody? It's Matt with Texas Edge Home Inspections, and today we are looking at a house by Pegasus Builders. Now, you guys usually know me as the guy that's running around finding things that are not supposed to do that, finding the broken things, the things that are wrong. But I also like to showcase when people actually do care and are doing it right. And today we are talking with Daniel Purcell of Pegasus Builders, and he's going to show us all around this property, this beautiful property that he's been working on. So let's go check it out, man.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so Daniel, you got a few things going on out here that I like. I see a lot of products that I'm familiar with. Let's talk about the brick ledge. Let's talk about your rain screen. Let's talk about your flashing details. Okay. Starting from the top down, what do you got going on here?
All right, so exterior sheathing, we're using zip sheathing. Made sure to tape and seal all the joints. So these butt ends over here, it was too large of a gap with our framer, so I decided to fill the joint with Purcell joint and seam filler.
Right, good stuff.
Taped the regular seams. Some of the areas you'll see that I used liquid flash to cover nail holes as well.
That. Yeah, I like that.
Moving down, we got the Keen drywall rain screen. That's going to be the protectant for this brick ledge. This is all protection from the mortar droppings that come off the back.
Gotcha.
Because it creates back dams.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to make a smooth passage for water to escape the house.
Right. Now, I love this detail right here.
Yep.
This is super cool. So tell me about that.
So
I feel like we've seen this on a friend of ours may have used a detail like this, right?
Yes. I learned this from Ryan Rush on one of his videos.
Excellent.
This is term barrier. It's a termite barrier, but it also can be utilized as an air barrier as long as you seal it properly. So we put it all the way along the brick edge, which air seals the bottom plate to the zip.
Right.
And then just to make sure that you have a good waterfall of water, I put zip tape on top of there.
Right.
Then you drape the Keen over top of it, and then I'm going to be using some specialized weep holes to really help with water drainage.
Another Ryan Rush detail?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that might be coming.
Yeah.
So, no, I really like that. That's super cool. Now, we've got this up here kind of as a demo, not just for today, but you said just kind of a demo for your guys so that they can know how you want this installed. And one thing that I'm seeing that I don't see very often, now I see zip. In the field, I come across zip a lot, okay? But what I don't see very often is rolled tape. And so that is something that I only see on a few different builds. So yeah, rolled tape, pretty good stuff. All right, so something else I recognize over here, we've got, this looks like an Aqua hose bib, is that correct?
That's correct.
These are so awesome, right? Because it's gonna be such a clean install. People aren't really using these. I'm not seeing them a lot at all, but it's just such a unique perspective on the hose bib. What I do see are broken hose bibs, hose bibs that leak. You know, of course, you know, we don't really have so much of a problem as having to like insulate them and stuff, but this definitely solves that problem as well. But just the cleanest look, and obviously, you know, I think it's going to perform. And so we got a hose here to demonstrate. But yeah. So you just lift it up here.
It's just a quarter turn.
On, and then
and water's on.
There it goes. It's already filling up.
And then quarter turn.
And then it drains out. Super cool. Great stuff. You got this all around the house, right?
Yeah, we got 4 hose bibs on the house.
Great. And I see that you use some quick flash around here.
Yeah.
It's quick flash along with liquid flash.
Yeah.
That's an interesting combo to try to, you know, manage your moisture intrusion. Explain to me why the choice for liquid flash here.
So I chose liquid flash specifically on this hose bib and another one on the back because we have our straps, our framing straps that go to the foundation. I use liquid flash for those because it makes a really, really good seal. It's a lot better than tape, and tape decides to start peeling off. You can't roll it very well on these straps.
Right.
And because of the close proximity to this strap, I said, okay, it's just going to be better to use liquid flash for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, Daniel, so on this side of the house, I'm seeing some pretty interesting details. First and foremost, this is a gypsum type product on the outside of the house. And this is used because of like the minimal or zero lot lines, right, for fire protection. Is that correct? Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we're 5 foot away from the property line on this first section here. So I just went ahead and did the dense glass all the way down this side elevation, so everything's uniform. And really, it's mostly for the gable section for the siding, so I don't have this transition.
Right. You have the bottom section sort of removed, and so tell us about that, and tell me what in the world this is right here.
Okay, so the bottom section's removed for us to put the term barrier on when we're ready. We are getting brick next week now, so
The pressure's on.
I know it's now time. So one of the concerns is that there's a 30-day UV rating for the term barrier. So I've been holding off as long as possible.
Right.
But now that the brick's coming, I can go ahead and start applying that product.
Gotcha. So what's sticking out of the wall here?
So this is just one of those aspects of planning ahead on the build. This house didn't have irrigation before, but we're doing irrigation at the end. And I wanted to make sure that there was an air-sealed and water-sealed conduit going through the zip system sheathing, so we have zero possibility of water penetration on the house.
So you don't have to drill a hole through the house after everything's done.
Exactly.
Makes a ton of sense, man.
Yep.
And you touched on something there that we probably get in a little bit later in the video, but this is not a ground up build. I mean, you went down to studs in most areas, went down to the foundation in most areas, and still even added to the foundation. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we added a total of 450 square feet to this build.
Okay.
Made the master bedroom way bigger, much more comfortable.
Like on the front and the back too.
Yeah, so in two different sections. So on the front, we added 220 square feet to increase the kitchen and add a laundry room. Wow. And on the back, we made the master bathroom 3 times as big and the master bedroom twice as big. So
awesome. When was this house originally built?
1972, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And we'll probably see when we go inside, but I think I saw some of the original framing in there too. Yeah, so
Yep.
you left some of the original framing, but not much really. It seems like most of it's new.
Yeah, in retrospect, at this point, if I were able to do it again, I would have just torn the frame completely down
all the way
and redone it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. They say something about that old wood though. You know, that's probably a lot better than the stuff that's going in there now. All right, well, let's move on down here and talk about some more details.
Okay.
This looks a little bit interesting to me. I'm not sure I'm familiar with it or that I've ever seen it. So tell me what's going on here.
So this is one of our exterior outlets on the house. This is a product from Arlington. It's called the Arlington Inbox. It's just a different version of exterior outlet as opposed to the traditional bubble or metal flap. I think it looks a lot nicer, especially that it's going to be about flush with the brick.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to give a much cleaner look than the kind of typical bubble covers. Anything that kind of sets it apart. I mean, obviously it looks very heavy duty, and it says extra duty on the cover. So, is this more like a commercial thing usually, or?
I think it's still a residential product. Okay. But I saw it on someone else's videos, and I liked it and decided I was going to implement it.
I mean, it's certainly going to make it, it's easier to flash around because of the shape and everything than some of the traditional ones. I like it. It looks really cool. Anxious to see. Did your phone just ring?
Yeah.
Do you need to get that?
No.
You can get it.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay, so when we look up, I'm noticing something. I feel like this is an indication of something to come. Okay, so we got some penetrations here. This is the range hood exhaust.
Yes.
And this, what's this one over here on the far end?
The far end is actually just a garage mechanical exhaust system.
Okay,
so I have
okay.
a
Why
forced
do we have
fan
that?
in there. That's just to ventilate exhaust. He's going to have his 3D printer in the garage, so I want to make sure to ventilate the gas out of there.
Then we got the dryer, the 4-inch one.
Yep.
And these two right here are?
They are the tankless
so we
gas
got
water heaters.
The intake and the exhaust for the tankless water heater.
Yep.
Going through the side of the house and not up, which obviously could have been an option because you have spray foam, you've got the PVC pipe. This easily could have gone through the roof, but you chose not to. Why is that?
I wanted 0 roof penetration.
So you have 0 roof penetration.
0.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
0 roof penetrations. Now, I think it's quite obvious, but for the people watching, what do you think is the benefit of having 0 roof penetrations?
You have 0 chance of leaks in the future, in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say 0, but I think obviously the penetrations are the areas where are most likely to have water come inside the structure. Most of the time when we see it, it's around a vent, it's around an exhaust pipe, something like that. Usually it's there. Sometimes it's from just a field nail. Okay, that does happen. But whenever you have taken the precautions that you have on the outside of this house, I'm assuming very similar precautions were taken whenever the roof sheathing was put up, and then the shingles are put on. We have 0 penetrations whatsoever, and so that these are the type of situations that makes my concern level of using spray foam go way down.
Yeah.
And which is what we have at least partially on the inside, but we'll get into the insulation a little bit later.
Yep.
Let's take a look at some other things. All right, Daniel, so I see a bunch of duct work and everything back here. So tell me what is going on here. Why do we have all of this going inside the house? Is this a temporary AC system?
Yeah, so I actually reutilized the original original AC unit on the whole house, which was a 3-ton, and because of the high performance aspect of the house, we're going down to 2-ton.
Right.
But I decided that why don't we just reuse the furnace for temporary AC for the total construction of the house, and then I won't turn on the unit until the day before they move in.
That's great. I love that. So you got the condenser over here, right?
Yep.
So where was it originally? Because it wasn't on, this is a shed, so it wasn't on here, right? Where was it?
So it was originally located on the back of the master, but we actually had to push the master back anyways.
So you had to move it no matter what. And so you moved it over here and hooked it all up, and and so the furnace is in there too?
Yep.
Okay, so you just kind of temporarily set up an HVAC system in the shed to push air into the house, so this is fully conditioned.
Yes, sir.
That's why it feels so nice in there. Even for an unfinished house, and I do houses at this stage all the time, they don't feel like that one does.
Yeah, it's 70 degrees in there.
It feels great. I have seen this done before, obviously on Matt Reisinger's builds. Ryan Rush is known for doing this kind of stuff as well, and I just think it's a really good system. I mean, obviously keeping everything at a moderate temperature inside is huge in terms of how this home is performing even at this stage.
Yeah.
But then the fact that you're giving the homeowner an HVAC system that doesn't have all the construction gunk running through it, to me is a really big deal.
Yeah, that was one of my pet peeves when I was doing production building, was that we'd turn the AC on as soon as possible, and then the whole system would be gunked up, and it's just a mold production facility.
I can't tell you how many times we've pulled the filter and it just has drywall dust all over it.
Yeah.
This is what you get whenever you are having someone that actually cares about the home, build your home. You're getting that kind of attention to detail. They want this system in place for the health of the home from the moment they can get this system in place, and they want your system to only service you and not the people that are working on your house.
Exactly.
Excellent, man. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I will admit, these are AMSCO windows, and I have not read the instruction manual, but when I go to these production builds and I see them at the pre-drywall stage, when I'm inspecting the outside of the weather barrier, you've all seen me make videos on this. They take a nail gun and they just slam nails into the bottom, well, all the flange, everywhere. It's just the only one I can see. Anywhere they can fit a nail, right? And it doesn't have to be in a nail hole. They just put it anywhere they want. They just slam them up there. They break the flange. Look, I haven't read the manual, but I can guarantee you that that method of installation is not in the manual. But what you see here is a clean install where we have used screws in the, and I think it's like every other, that's usually what the manufacturer's installation instructions usually calls for, like every other at least. But we have put screws in the nail holes, and we haven't just made our own holes in the flange. This is something that I really like. I talk about this a lot because I think it's ridiculous that we're just taking a nail gun and damaging the windows as we're putting them up, almost intentionally. It isn't in the instructions. Let's don't do that. Okay, so tell me about this. There appears to be some type of shim under the windows. Tell me what that is, why it's there. What do we got going on here, Daniel?
So I just got some traditional horseshoe shims.
Okay.
I believe they're actually used for plumbing, but I put them underneath the bottom flange of the window.
Okay.
And you can see that the bottom of the window is untaped because I'm trying to allow an escape path for water.
Absolutely,
if
very important.
For some reason it gets in, for it to get out.
I think
yeah,
the better way to do it is when. Like we should always be thinking about when water gets in.
Yeah,
we make every attempt of keeping it out, but we should plan for when it gets in.
Yeah.
And so we got the flashing, we got the zip tape, maybe a slope seal, I'm not sure.
Yep.
All of that going on, but then we still put these horseshoe shims down here to kind of open up, and we didn't tape the bottom to kind of give water, to encourage water to flow out. This is a belt and suspenders approach to building, where we have a couple of different safeguards against whatever might happen. You want to plan for problems, even though you're building to a point where it shouldn't be challenged. You still want to plan for them.
So I have a back dam as well on the inside of the window that you'll see when we get inside.
Excellent. Yeah, I'd like to take a look at that.
Everything's created to make sure water gets out.
That's the name of the game. Water destroys homes. Get it out of here. Let it dry. Well, Daniel, we found the sun.
Yeah.
It's fall right now. It might as well be summertime. I mean, fall, winter, spring, pretty much all feels the same here. But whatever. We're in the heat of the sun right here in dang near October. And tell me about what's going on this side of the house, in this gable end over here. We got 3 additional, actually 4 penetrations. I know that's got to be your secondary drain line for your AC.
Yes, that's correct.
What else we got going on here?
All right, so we have our ERV exhaust right here.
Okay.
We have all of our plumbing sinks venting out of one vent right here, which is 2 bathrooms and a kitchen and laundry room. And then our ERV intake over here.
So bringing air in over there, exhausting it over here, and then this is an exhaust for the plumbing. And you have, this is the only exhaust on the whole house?
The only plumbing exhaust? Yep. I had to fight the city on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there, they just didn't like it? They wanted every one of them to match? What was the deal?
they were focused on making sure that I had 2, and I told them that, you know, is within standard as long as you maintain an increase elevation change from the start to finish, and we were within the tolerance of only needing 1.
So yeah, you don't have much plumbing on the house, so you just don't need a ton of it. And it's going right through the side of the house, so you can eliminate that roof penetration. That's good. I mean, you did your homework. You knew what you needed to have. If you needed to, you would have put in 2, but you didn't need to. So you didn't put in 2, and you didn't bang another hole in the side of your house. So that's great. Great job.
I want to show you this detail real quick. One thing that I've always seen on some older houses is that even if your garage door trimmers are painted well, they still are susceptible to water absorption because they're touching the slab down here. You know, some people mitigate it by cutting it at a 45. I don't like that detail, so what I'm doing that I learned from Stud Pack was I'm actually going to put a piece of PVC on the bottom of the trimmer, and then, you know, we'll Bondo it to make it look nice and a seamless transition. But now the PVC is going to be touching the concrete as opposed to even the treated trimmer on the side. So just little details.
All right, Daniel, so now we're in the garage. Tell me what I need to know about this garage before we move inside the house. I know we've got an insulated garage, so that's kind of cool. We're going to have air out here as well?
So we're not going to have any type of mini split or anything like that. But the reason I went ahead and insulated it was because he's going to be working in the garage a lot. So I do have forced ventilation going on, especially right over top of where he's going to have his 3D printer in the garage here. So I have forced ventilation sucking out from the living space of the garage, if you will, in the sheetrock, and then also from the gable in the attic. And it's getting forced out the side of the house.
Excellent, excellent. And so I see like this wall back over here appears to be kind of furred out a little bit, like some furring strips. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so to prevent any kind of gas or anything or exhaust going into the house for the tankless water heater, I decided to fur the wall out a little bit. So the only thing that's actually penetrating through the wall is going to be the water lines. And I was able to seal those in so that I'm not having any gas that I don't need to inside the house.
Excellent. Great detail. Good stuff. Now let's move inside.
All right.
Wow, it feels amazing in here. Being outside in that, what is it, high 80s right now? And so the air conditioning is pumping in here, and it might as well be in the 60s. But you say it's 70, but it feels like a refrigerator, and it feels spectacular. I woke up this morning, it was like 70 degrees outside. Again, that's our, September, which felt great. But now we're in the later part of the day, and the temperature's up there in the high 80s. So I was breaking a sweat out there, so I'm glad to be inside. You ready to look at some details inside here?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So as I was coming in here, I noticed where we had added to the foundation. So back here in the kitchen, now you said you expanded the kitchen, but you didn't exactly add the foundation to the kitchen. You just robbed from the old house to expand the kitchen. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the garage actually started right over here. We actually added 3 foot on top of the garage slab and then added an additional 8 foot to create a pantry and a laundry room and then a laundry room closet. And then from that, we continued and started the garage, but made the garage back to the original size.
Right. So the garage just essentially moved up, and we robbed that old garage space for a laundry room, pantry, and then expanded the kitchen. And then you also added back over here in the master, we added, that's where a lot of the new slab starts as well, is right back beyond over there, so you could get a bigger master bedroom.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure it was much different whenever it was original. It probably felt a lot different. It probably had like a shotgun kitchen.
Yeah, you couldn't open the fridge and the dishwasher at the same time initially.
Wow.
So it's pretty tight.
I've definitely seen some houses like that for sure. All right, Daniel, I'm seeing a couple different things that you're doing here to protect the house during construction. So what can you tell us about those?
So first thing is going to be, I have all of the registers covered, the returns and supplies on the house, so that no construction or specifically drywall dust has even a possibility of migrating up into
Even though that system's not running, we don't want anything kind of going up in there at all.
Exactly. And then the second thing is that I applied a protective coating on top of the tub so that, when I was doing production, we always had to refinish tubs every single house.
Oh, man.
So I applied this liquid applied product.
How does it come off?
It peels off.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like Plastidip.
That is going to be very satisfying.
Yeah.
We're going to get a video of that. Like, hopefully we can get like a video of the protection peel on the tub. That'll be really cool. So when I was back here looking at the tub, I saw something that was a little bit different. We got some insulation wrapped around the tub. This is interesting. I've never seen that before. What's going on there?
Well, I just wanted to add a little bit of luxury to this customer's house. So she likes to take baths. So if I can insulate the tub to keep it warmer longer.
Yeah.
We're going to add that little bit of
That's
extra
pretty
stretch.
cool. That's pretty cool. I could have used that in my house. Okay, so now I'm starting to see some mix of old lumber and mix of new lumber. But what was the purpose for leaving some of this, and what was the purpose for ripping some of it out?
So we were just trying to replace what really needed to be replaced. A lot of it was damaged by termites and carpenter ants and stuff like that. So lots of broken up pieces of wood that we just...
So let me ask you, what kind of veneer was on the outside of this house when it was original?
It was brick.
It was brick.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. A lot of people think that if they have a brick house, they don't have to be concerned about termites. We have termites here in the Houston area. We have 3 different kinds of termites in the Houston area: subterranean, Formosan, and drywood termites. Drywood termites can attack your house from anywhere because they don't need to go down the ground to get moisture, but the other 2 do. And the thing is, whether your house is brick, unless your house is made completely of metal and completely of stone and there is no wood in it at all, then maybe you don't have to worry about termites. But you see this right here? This is all wood. This is termite food. This is what they love to eat, okay? And they will find a way in here to get it. They need the smallest little space to get in and get it. You doing anything to keep them from this whenever you're...
We're doing the term barrier on the outside.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, we're trying to keep them from getting in. That's the thing. We got to put in systems so we can try to keep termites from getting in here and doing that damage. Because although the house was still standing, once you ripped all this out, you realized that lumber just wasn't usable anymore.
Yeah, a lot of the house wasn't usable. And like I said, in retrospect, I probably should have just torn the whole thing down. It would have been easier.
Well, I mean, the lumber that's intact seems like it's in pretty good shape. And I mean, you've seen all the pictures of like the end grain of new wood versus old wood, right? As long as it's not termite damage, it's probably in good shape.
Yeah, exactly.
But different. This is the shower and the master. Tell me what's going on here.
So this is the master bathroom, but we also have a steam shower built in. So this is going to be
steam shower.
Yeah, fully enclosed. So we do have a regular shower, fixture, regular mixer valve over here, but we also are going to have a steam shower controller sitting on the wall, and the steam shower will the steam unit will sit up in the attic, and through this copper pipe will discharge steam.
So what is the steam shower?
Steam shower is just
like a sauna?
Yeah, sauna.
So what kind of door is going to be on it?
It's going to be glass, so we'll have
is it
operable.
Seal?
Yeah, it's going to be a sealed glass door with an operable transom on top, so that'll start venting out.
Okay. And so that's really interesting. So you have this slanted ceiling for condensation.
Yeah.
Well, wow. That's something I have never seen before. I've been in a lot of high-end homes, done a lot of inspection on some high-end homes, and I haven't seen a steam shower. So that's really interesting.
Well, we're also going to do micro cement in here for the total shower, so seamless transition from the floor to the wall to the ceiling.
So you were telling me that you have done something a little bit different with the HVAC equipment and everything up there. What have you done and why did you do it?
So with Ryan Rush's design, we got a furnace or a heat exchange unit. We got a dehumidifier and an ERV, but I hung them all from the rafters as opposed to put them on the ceiling joists.
Right. So they're all suspended.
They're all suspended from the ceiling so that we're not transferring any of that vibration or sound to the living space right at the sheetrock.
That's nice, especially with the dehumidifier, man. Those things are noisy. I've walked into some houses sometimes where if they're not suspended right or kept up off of the decking, I mean, it's a real low growl, but I mean, nobody could sleep in that room.
Yeah.
So it's nice but you, not just the dehum, you have suspended all of it.
All of it.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, we couldn't do this video without getting on this roof and showcasing the fact that we've got 0 roof penetrations. I had to get up here. I'm a roof walker, what can I say? So now here we're up here and we're checking it out, but there's not much to see. Why? Because all of the hot buttons that are usually on a roof don't exist. All we have here are field shingles, pretty much. Yeah. And so, yeah, it looks fantastic, man. I mean, what a cool look to have absolutely no penetrations. We got a sealed attic, so we don't have any vents. All the plumbing vents and all other penetrations are going through the wall, man. It's really cool. I like the concept. We're eliminating risk.
Yeah. This was also a fight with the city.
They have no idea. They're like, that's not allowed.
Yeah, I had to pull the code up for them.
That's great, man, but fight for what's right,
Yeah.
And they need to get used to it because we need more people out here doing this kind of stuff. Eliminate the risk. You look around at all these houses and what do we see? Risk, risk, risk on every single one of them,
Yep.
except this one. Listen, you guys, this is Daniel Purcell at Pegasus Builders. Where can they find you, Daniel?
You can find me on Instagram at Pegasus_builders_TX.
Awesome, awesome. You guys, this is an awesome build. Thanks for having me out here today. I can't wait to see more of what you're doing in the future.
All right.
Daniel, great to meet you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.